Will we let the rain ruin our day at Animal Kingdom? Heck no. As you can see as we walk into Animal Kingdom today, it has rained. We are actually late getting to Animal Kingdom because we saw the forecast and we're trying to avoid a heavy downpour that came in. So Michelle and I got on the bus late. It is 10:53. This is very late for us to be arriving at any park ever, but we were like, we're not gonna get poured on. And as you can see, it has been doing so for a while, but it has kind of cleared up. It is currently not raining, but it's supposed to rain pretty much all day today, and we're gonna see what we can get done. I will say one thing though, it is way cooler, isn't it? The temperature has dropped significantly from when we first stepped out the door this morning. Tree of Life with some clouds behind it is pretty picturesque though. Doesn't that look awesome? I love it. We're here. We're gonna see what's gonna happen first. Kilimanjaro Safaris was showing a 30-minute wait, but everything was closed because of the weather, so we're expecting that to have spiked. We're hoping to get on that because it'll be nice and cool and the animals will be active. Can't stop here without going to Creature Comforts, so we're getting coffee for Michelle, tea for me, and then we're gonna head over to the Safari, which is still saying 30 minutes. Well, Starbucks took too long. We stopped thinking we can make it for the 30-minute Kilimanjaro Safaris, but we can't. It jumped to 55. But there's a 12 o'clock showing of the Festival of the Lion King, and you want to get in line early for that one, so we're going to go get in line for that so we can go see Festival of the Lion King because it's a great show. So Starbucks didn't ruin the day. Here's the good thing. If you get to the Festival of the Lion King soon enough, they will actually not have the standby line even loaded yet, and you will definitely get a good seat. You do want to get here early for Festival of the Lion King. Festival of the Lion King, if you don't know, is you cross the bridge into Africa, into Harambe Village, and you turn hard left, and then you can get over here. And if you get here soon enough, which I highly recommend, because you will get some of the best seats, because they'll usually fill front to back in that theater, you can then see the show really well. And as you can tell, they haven't let us in, and I think they're about to let everybody in. And I like this show a lot, and it's worth waiting. So as you can see, we have really, really good seats to see the Lion King. We're pretty much dead center watching one of the main entrance points. That is the curtain that is right over there. That is one of the main entrance points of the floats, which is awesome, and we'll be able to have a great view. This is our reward for waiting. The other reward we got is that the rain tried to start on us while we were waiting in line, and we got inside just in time.
Here today to welcome you one and all to the Festival of the Lion King. Welcome to our world.
He's gonna show us his best lion imitation. All right, Fitz, go ahead and get those paws up like this. Now let's hear the roar.
The Lion King.
Come on, everybody, get ready to clap your paws, stomp your hooves, and ruffle your feathers. No, Pumbaa! Look at me! I'm in a parade! You're looking good! Hey, guys, it looks like we're all here. Let's go!
That's enough. Let's settle down. For the last time, I want quiet. Thank you.
That show is so good, and I'm so glad it's back to normal. It used to be right after the closure, they called it the Celebration of the Lion King, and it didn't have the tumble monkeys, and the birds didn't swing. It was not as fun, and now it's so much better. It's so much better back to its original state. Now we kind of have to rush over to Pandora. Let's try it again.
$1.03. I
Little PSA, by the way, please don't just stop in the middle of the walkway and turn around and expect that there's no one behind you, especially after leaving a crowded theater. But we're gonna head over to Flight of Passage. We're taking the back way into Pandora, which goes past the Harambe bathrooms, which are to my left right now. And we are gonna head over to the Flight of Passage because we have a lightning lane that we booked for it. And the best part about sitting in that show is the storm is gone. There was a nasty thunderstorm that passed through literally during the period of time we were sitting in the theater. So this is how you avoid the rain. You just pay attention to the weather, hop in line for the Lion King, or whatever you need to do. But we're off to Pandora. So Michelle and I have made it, as you can tell by the very austere space that we're in, to our lightning lane for Pandora's Flight of Passage. Just so you know, there is a 15-minute grace window, and we had to use it today because we misplanned getting into the Festival of the Lion King and how long it was going to take. But we're good. We tapped in, didn't even have to say anything. It let us in because we were within the grace window. So here we go. Purchasing the lightning lane today was $14 per person for this ride, so it came out to 28 bucks, the two of us. While we understand that, not everybody can afford to be able to do that, it does really help if you're having a day like today where the lines are going to get longer because of the rain. So the price, in my opinion, is mildly justified because of the rain. Not always justified, though, I have to be honest. I do love this ride a lot, but I don't know if I love it enough to pay that much all the time.
Restraints activated.
Thanks for the great ride, Joe Rohde. So now that the thunderstorms are starting to abate, but we have some scheduled for later on this afternoon, we are going to now go get a late lunch at FlameTreeBBQ. We actually mobile ordered it in the line for Flight of Passage. That's one of the tips we also give, is that utilize the spaces that you can when you're dry, so you don't have to do it on your phone and possibly get wet. We recommend mobile ordering your food in line. It's really good. And make sure you pay attention to the windows, though, because there are pickup windows. And recently I've noticed a lot more of the being able to do it now than being able to do it, like having the times go away. I think they might have figured out the issue with the mobile ordering, because before it was like mobile order, and you go to mobile order and it'd be like, you can't order until 2 p.m. and it's like 11. So I think they must have kind of figured that part out. So we're gonna head to FlameTreeBBQ, which is over in Discovery Island. For a little bit of wayfinding, you do have to cross by the Tree of Life, which looks so pretty right now with the blue sky and the clouds behind it. Oh, so nice. But you do have to cross by the Tree of Life on your left, and then you're gonna head over to FlameTreeBBQ, which is up here beyond Discovery Trading Company. One of the reasons why we chose FlameTreeBBQ over Satu'li Canteen is because we ate there recently at Satu'li Canteen, so we wanted to try something a little different. But there's plenty of covered seating here at FlameTreeBBQ to keep us out of the rain in case it starts up again. So we're gonna head on in and pick up our mobile ordered meal. As you can see from the menu here on FlameTree, they have ribs and chicken pulled pork sampler, ribs and chicken combo, baked macaroni and cheese with pulled pork, smoked pulled pork sandwich, a smokehouse chicken salad. You can get half a chicken, you can just get ribs, or you can get a hot link smokehouse sandwich. All of these sound really, really good. I personally ordered a baked macaroni and cheese with the pulled pork and some fries, as did Michelle. I also got myself a nice Safari Amber beer, and Michelle ordered the specialty beverage. So as you can see, I have my meal, the FlameTree famous pulled pork barbecue mac and cheese and some fries. I also got the Safari Amber Ale, which they offer here. This is a pretty standard meal. I have had this before. I will tell you that the pulled pork is usually smoked really, really nicely. I did take all of Michelle's onion rings because she doesn't like onion rings. She has the same thing as I do. And you can ask for extra barbecue sauce. And we found a spot overlooking the water, and with Everest in the distance, We have found that these ones closer to the water are usually less populated, and we can have a little bit more quiet lunch if we want down here, because mostly people try to eat closer to the restaurant. Well, Flame Tree, always good. You like that, right? Yeah. We were really hungry, and I completely, like, to the bottom of the paper tray thing that they gave us, ate the food, like, just stuffed it in. And now we're just enjoying this beautiful view, a little bit of quiet underneath these areas. Like I said, the ones down by the water aren't usually as populated, so they're usually way less people and much quieter. And cheers. So Michelle and I are making our way through the park off of Discovery Island into Africa, into the village of Harambe. And we're gonna try to get on the safari, which says it only has a 25-minute wait according to the app, which that's about what we want. Now, we don't normally recommend the time of day that we're about to get on this ride. But according to the weather, we have about a 90-minute window with lovely blue skies that we have right now, and then we're gonna get hit again. So we're gonna try to get in everything that would normally close down due to a thunderstorm in these 90 minutes. One of them is the African safari. Here we go. So while we wait in what does actually seem will be an actual 25-minute line, Michelle wanted to share with you her opinion on individual lightning lanes.
So my 2 cents is they're, even at the cheapest, they're still really expensive. FlightOfPassage is one of the better deals because it's like a 4.5-minute ride. But at the end of the day, 4.5 minutes cost us 28 bucks. And we ended up on a ride with the kids screaming at the top of our lungs for most of it, so I don't know, not always worth it.
I tend to agree with Michelle on that the individual lightning lanes, I believe, are just a little bit too much of a cash grab for my personal tastes. Because, I mean, you're already going to pay for Disney Genie Plus for a lot of these parks. And then on top of that, in order to get on that extra special ride, you have to spend even more money. Now, you don't have to have Genie Plus, because we don't have it today, in order to get the individual lightning lanes. But a lot of times, people are doing both. And that's just a lot of money to ask from a family who's already paid a lot of money to be here. All right, we finally made it to the loading area. It seems like there was an animal in the path because all the trucks were stacked up, waiting and waiting and waiting, which means there's probably something in the way. But Michelle and I have gotten our favorite row, the last row, right? And Michelle and I got the last row, which is our favorite. So you can see we have that big open view behind us.
They look like a rock over there, but that is in fact a black rhino. Black rhinos are some of the smallest of the rhino species. They can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. Now, a group of zebras is called a dazzle. That's because when they are in a group, they dazzle or confuse their predators. They're day eating. In fact, they only sleep for about 30 minutes per day. Giraffes also do sleep standing up. And giraffes can also sleep with their eyes open. That one would be pretty cool, I do have to say. A little bit jealous of that one. They do have this. African elephants' ears are shaped sort of like Africa itself, so that is how I can tell. Walking around a little bit now. Probably gonna look for some more food to munch on. Elephants will eat up to 300 pounds of food. Up here on the left-hand side, a male lion. He's actually up and about, which is pretty surprising. Lions spend most of their day sleeping, anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day. Now, they sleep so much, not out of laziness, it is to conserve their energy. Lions do their hunting at night. And it is the females in the pride that do the hunting. The males actually stay back, they watch after the cubs. That's their job. Gotta watch.
Greetings, Future Doug here. I just want to tell you that I was so excited to see a lion because it was the first time we saw one in years. Michelle and I checked, it was like 2018, and the rain had cooled it down enough that we actually got to see a lion active on the safari. That was so awesome. Sorry, back to your regularly scheduled program. Michelle and I got off a safari. I do have to say something that we're now on our way over to Everest, and we're going to try to get on that ride. But the thing I need to add is the number one thing that Disney cast members have to be concerned with is safety. So if anything unsafe happens, they have to report it. Right as I was walking up to our driver to thank her for being excellent, she had a really good enunciation. And Haley from Minnesota, we appreciate you. But we want to say that you have to be really, really careful that you keep an eye on your kids. We had a kid who made a complete mistake. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad choices. It was just he didn't understand the direction, and he climbed over a wall and jumped down next to the tire of the safari vehicle. Now, all the cast members who witnessed that have to call that in, keep the family there. They have this whole thing that has to happen. And now, all because the first pillar of their job is safety. So just be really, really careful. Try to make sure you're really policing what's going on. Now, those poor cast members now have to go through like mounds of paperwork, all because of the issue that was an accident, but you need to really, really be careful. So just make sure you're following all the signs and lines and directions, just because I feel bad for those cast members, because now, because of a simple mistake, they now probably have to go through a lot. I always tell people that if you want to have one of the best shots of you and the Tree of Life, it's not actually in that main courtyard. It's back here, which is in between Africa and Asia. There's this walkway, and then there's this beautiful shot of the Tree of Life unobscured with this awesome landing right here. As you can tell by the change of decor, we're in line for Expedition Everest. Now, the sign said 25 minutes. I don't think so. I think the sign is probably off by about 10 minutes. It's probably going to be 35. This ride's worth that wait, though. This ride's really, really good. And I do recommend also that you ask for front row. Now, this is probably going to be our last ride, because there is definitely a storm brewing, and I just don't think that it's going to let up once it gets here. We've been looking at the radar, and while it's beautiful and sunny right now, there's about to be a storm coming in. And since this is about what can we do when it's raining in Walt Disney World, so far we've avoided it, and we're going to continue to avoid it. But as you can see, coming in over there, you can kind of see it off in the distance, there is a thunderstorm a-brewing. Why the Imagineers thought putting ringable brass bells in a line was a good idea is beyond me. As you can see, the clouds are starting to roll in. We are about to get on the ride soon, but when we get down to the sorting station, I am going to ask the person doing the sorting if we can wait for row number 1. That's our favorite row on this ride. They will, if you're nice to them, they will probably say yes. See? Ask nicely, you get front row. That's why we love this ride. So good, so good. Like I said before, the winds are picking up, the clouds are darkening, and it's starting to look ominous here in Animal Kingdom. So we are going to start making our way out of the park. We have done a really good job avoiding the rain. We never once had to pull our umbrellas out, never once had to pull our ponchos out, because if you're really paying attention to the weather here in Walt Disney World, it's really easy to avoid it. The worst of it, we spent watching a show.
And on a bus.
And on a bus, because we paid attention to the weather in the morning. And now we see that the weather is rolling in, and with the weather rolling in, we're gonna head our way out. But we've had a really fun day here. We've gotten a lot done, despite we've only been here for a short period of time. So we're gonna work our way out of the park and figure out something to do in the rain that involves us being inside in the air conditioning. We appreciate you watching our video today. If you can give us a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate that too. And if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be great. And because we don't like to say goodbye, because we're gonna see you real soon, we say, see you bye. Like I said, if you don't believe me, you can see that weather rolling in over there from the west. Yeah, that's what we're trying to avoid. And Pocahontas is coming.